welcome back to the channel. So we're on part 4 of the colour along in Enchanted Earth by Melpomene Chatsu Panajitu, and we're going to start the water today. So we're going to have an indigo, dark indigo, probably blue, helio blue, reddish, and we need a light blue as well. And I'm probably going to have to get my polychromos out to get the light turquoise. So this is light ultramarine. I'm just going to have 3 blues. And we are going to go, so where all these, I'm just going to zoom you in. So where all the lines are, is where it's going to be darkest. So that's what I'm going to do first. Very light pressure. And so this is dry, first of all. I probably am going to activate this as well. I'm going to try and do as much on camera today as possible. As much of this picture today as we can. So I'm just going to show you what I'm doing first of all, and then I'll probably go and finish off the rest of it on camera and then come back, just so we can not have this colouring in a million multiple parts. There we go. So I'm just going to do this bit, I think, and then you can see the rest of it once it's finished. So then I'm going to go to the helio blue reddish. It's not sharpened brilliantly. And then we're going to just build that colour out like that. Blending it in with that indigo as we go. And then I'm going to take the light ultramarine and then blend that into what we've just done as well. And then this bit here is going to have a bit of yellow because obviously the sun is on it. I might even put a bit of what's it called? Stickles on there. There we go, like that. And here's going to be a lighter blue. This might have a bit of shading in between the flowers, which I'll do now as well. So where that kind of goes behind there, that will just be a little bit bluer. Right, so I'm just going to activate that to show you how that would work, and then I will do, so light it into darkest, as we've done before. You will need to just keep dipping your brush into the water so that colour that kind of doesn't remain on the brush and you don't sweep it in. I'm very good at doing that. Good thing about this paper is it's one-sided, and it can take some water, I can tell you, which is really fabulous. There's a lot of colouring books you have to be so careful, kind of like how much water you put in because they can start peeling, or yeah, it can be really, really tricky sometimes. And I'll probably add some Posca white to this, for the lines, for the thicker lines probably. Because that'll make sense. Right, so that's that bit all activated. So I'm going to finish off the water and then I will come back. Hi, I'm back. So I've done the water and I've activated it. So I've used the of.our, I've activated the colour. Just got to wait for that to dry, so then I can go in and just do a little bit more to it. So now I'm just going to work a little bit more on the sky. And I said I was going to add some red. So this is a dark red, and it's just in little places. I want to darken it up a bit. Not in many, just a few. And then I'm going to go in with some orange to blend that out a little bit as well. Oh, I've got to be careful not to dip my hand into the blue, which I've just put on. So I think I'm going to make all of the bits under the wood acorn a little bit darker. And I'll just go and blend all of that out a bit. And in doing that water, I've noticed that the man in the cave is in a boat, which I hadn't noted before. That was quite a nice revelation, I have to say. So I think that's kind of it. Then I'm going to use dark cadmium orange just to blend that out a bit. Make the orange a little bit more intense as well while we're there. And see, that's kind of come up quite a little bit more intense than it was before. There we go, that's a bit better. Right, I'm just going to put them away. And I'm going to go in with a cadmium orange. And then blend all that out a bit more as well. That's intensifying and deepening the colours, which these pencils do so very well. Dry and dark. I think that's why they're so versatile. There we go, and now I just want to make that yellower. And I want to make around that sun a little bit more intense as well. Orange around the sun. I think, because I didn't. I'll have to blend that out with the yellow. There you go. Righty then. That's good. I'm much happier with that now. Okay. I do want to put some more shadows in the caves, so I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the black, I think. And so basically these lines are just going to be darkened up. So I'm using a black. And wherever there's lines is going to be a bit of black. And that's just to give it a little bit more contrast. So I'm going to do the rest of that off camera and I will come back. Right, I have darkened up the stonework, the cave, all with dry. Now we're going to tackle these acorns. So we're going to go in with, not leaf green, deep dark phthalo green for the leaves on top of the acorn. I'm going quite dark at the bottom of the leaf and then leaving a little bit of a white tip at the bottom, at the top even, sorry. And then I'll go in and make that darker as well. The bottom of the leaf. And we've got 2 more acorns at the top of the page as well. And I'll do exactly the same there. So I'll just show you these 2. Activate them with water. And then I'll do the other 2 off camera and come back. Okay, and then I'll go in with the deep cobalt green, one of my favourite colours, just to darken up those bases of the leaves where some of them are overlapped by another. I'm probably not going to activate these leaves actually because it's so small, such a small spaces, it's kind of difficult. But that's the beauty of these pencils. You can use them wet and dry and decide what to activate and what not to activate. There we go. Then we are going to use the brown ochre. We're going to do a light layer of that. Just on the right hand side I am going to leave a little bit because I want there to be like a May green to go in there as well. Because acorns are not always brown. So this is the earth green yellowish. I'm not just going to go down on that right hand side of the acorn. And just blend the brown into the green. Like so. And then we'll get a darker brown, which will be the walnut brown because I don't have any others. Just to make that darker on one side and underneath the leaves. And that's mainly kind of following what the line work of Melpomene. Some cross hatching and stuff in here. It's lovely. So I will activate the acorn itself. Right. We're going to go from the green into that brown and then into the brown altogether. Like that. So I might just change the kind of balance of those colours a little, being a little bit more of the brown ochre. Essentially, that's how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go off camera and do the other two now. There we go. So I've done the acorns. Now we're going to do this big branch at the top. And what it's going to do is have a light layer of the brown ochre. And then we're going to go in with the walnut brown and add in some shading, follow the patterns that Mel Pamini's put on this branch, which is quite incredible really. Then I've got to decide what colours to do these leaves. At the moment I cannot decide for the life of me, so that might have to be in another part once I've made that decision. If you are following along and you finish your picture, please tag me on Instagram. Love to see how everything's gone, etc. Somebody did that. I did a cloud tutorial, well not tutorial, just a demonstration really, with chalk pastels, and somebody tagged me in with after they'd followed my tutorial, and the result was absolutely amazing. It was so good and much better than what I'd achieved. So I was like, and it was so nice to see it, knowing that someone watched my tutorial. So if you are colouring along with this page, yeah, do tag me wherever you kind of upload your pictures, if you upload them. I am in most colouring groups on Facebook, and yeah, I'm on YouTube obviously, and Instagram. So yeah, do tag me in your kind of finished page. So that's the light layer. Then we're going to go in with the walnut brown and just kind of, I don't know if you can see, follow the patterns of this line work that's gone in here. I'm putting in some darker brown. It's just incredible. Difficult to know, like, really where to put it, but just gives it a little bit of depth, I suppose. I mean, I'm guessing that most you could just do like the bottom of it. This is going to be brown, which I think is probably the way I'm going to go. It's going to be a darker brown, and the top of it would be slightly lighter. And I think that's what I'm going to do, just to make it slightly easier. So the underside of the wood, as it were, would be darker brown and in shadow, and the top of it would be a lighter, the brown ochre. And I think the pattern is just to give the wood a bit of texture. So here, there's lots of line here. So this is where I'd put my darker brown. All the way at the base of this, where the acorn meets the kind of tree branch, as it were. I might put a bit of stuff there. There we go. And I would go along here again in the darker brown. Oh, can't quite see. Like this. There's lots of lines there, so I make that darker as well. It's quite difficult, as I haven't broken the spine of this book yet. So to get into these leaves, it's going to be a bit of a mission. We'll get there. And there might be a bit of shadow there from that leaf. I don't quite know what to do here, because that's going to look a bit odd, I think. So I might just have to just blend that together. Right, and I will activate that so you can see how that kind of goes. and I'll activate it from this side. So lighter into darker. So I'd get all the lighter one activated first, all the way along. So I'll just do half of it so you can see, and then I'll do the other bit off camera. And I think that will be part 4. There we go. And then we just go into the dark a bit now and kind of blend them together a bit. Yeah, the line work's just giving the wood some texture, I think, which is really rather nice. There we go. So that's how I'd activate it and do that. So I will finish off that off camera and I'll say bye-bye for this part and see you in part 5.